Losing weight is a massive, massive issue for a lot of people, okay? Because I get a lot of messages and I get a lot of people that obviously come onto my one-to-one coaching with that exact issue of, they want to lose weight. They've been trying for years and years and they just can't do it. They can't seem to crack the code. They can't seem to stay consistent with it. All these things that all these issues that are related to losing weight, people have. And it sucks, bro, because, when there's an issue that you've got and you feel like it genuinely isn't solvable, you genuinely don't have the correct knowledge and therefore you can't take the correct action to fix that problem, it does suck because it makes you feel like you're kind of out of control. But I'm here to change that. I'm here to enlighten you lot. I'm here to give you a lot of the correct knowledge to go and be able to take the correct action so you can fix this problem forever, okay? Now, the first thing that you need to completely master, okay, and you cannot skip this step. I swear to God, boys, do not be a pussy and just skip to like all the practical steps and stuff and just ignore this part. That is the mindset side of this, okay? Losing weight is a massive issue, and if you want to fix this massive issue, okay, if there's all these things that you've been struggling with, I can't stay consistent, I can't stay motivated, I'm not disciplined. Your mindset is obviously a big thing, that's a big factor that is causing that barrier, okay? If you've not actually achieved the goal that you want to achieve yet, it's purely because of your mindset, all right? Because your mind controls everything. Your mind controls the action that you take. The knowledge you have controls the quality of action that you take, all right? So this all links in together. So do not be a pussy and just go skipping straight to the end where you want to find all the practical steps to losing weight. No, you need to master your mindset before you master anything, all right? I cannot drill that into you enough. Like with anything, okay? You have to master your mindset before you master the actionable steps. The mindset is what almost is the foundation of all the action that you're going to take. All right. So the first thing is, in terms of your mindset, you have to have the self-belief in yourself. All right. And again, like with anything, you cannot physically achieve a goal if you don't believe it's possible. Because if you don't believe it's possible, your actions align with it, okay? You'll notice if you have this self-belief, if you wake up in the morning and you go to the mirror and you think, right, I'm the fucking man. I can do this, I can achieve this goal. I can do anything. If you've got that, if you genuinely speak those words to yourself and you put that positive energy out to yourself, you'll start to see that your actions will genuinely align with that. If you start to do this consistently, okay, you'll start to feel motivated. You'll start to genuinely believe it's true. Because a lot of you genuinely feed yourselves negative energy. You put negative words into your own brain, all right? You're saying, like, I can't do this, I've been trying for so long, it's impossible, I don't know this, I don't know that, this is difficult. And you're feeding yourself with all this negativity, and then your actions therefore align with that negativity. And that's why you've not achieved the goal that you want to achieve yet. That's why you've not lost the weight. So you have to completely flip this and alter this and have that genuine self-belief in yourself. Genuinely believe that you can do it, that you can lose weight. And that's with any goal that you want to achieve, whether it's you want to build muscle, you want to get better at dating, you want to improve your social skills, anything like that. You want to be more confident, you want to learn an instrument or whatever the fuck, all right? You have to have that genuine self-belief in yourself that you can do it. Because if you don't, it's just not going to happen. That is literally the first step. That is the first step to achieving anything. And especially in something like losing weight, that kind of takes a long time. This is not a process that just happens overnight. You have to stay very consistent. You have to stay, like I said, you have to stay consistent. You have to do it every single day. You have to keep learning. You're going to keep failing and you're going to keep having setbacks and you're going to think this is shit and you're going to want to give up. But it's all about having that correct mindset to push you through those hard times and stay on it, because that is how you're going to achieve the results, okay? You can't possibly fail if you don't give up, all right? And if you genuinely try and you keep that self-belief in yourself, then you will achieve it, I promise. Now, again, a lot of you struggle with things like motivation. Sometimes you're going to want to not do it. Sometimes you're going to wake up in the morning and you just think, I can't be arsed. It's raining, I don't want to go for a run, or, I'm feeling tired, I didn't sleep that much. I can't be arsed today. I want to go and eat some junk food or something. You see all this, you start craving a fucking Domino's pizza or something. And then you give in to that craving because you've not got your mind sorted out, okay? Now, a lot of you are thinking, this keeps on happening to me. I keep on having these cravings. I keep on relapsing on my junk food. I keep on skipping workouts because I'm tired and I can't be arsed. There's one way to fix that, and that is simply by imagining the person that you are going to become. Vivid visualization is one of the best things that you can do for yourself in terms of achieving a future goal, in terms of wanting to be someone who you're not right now, okay? Just close your eyes and vividly imagine the person that you want to become, that person who's shredded, he's got a six-pack, he's got like no body fat on him whatsoever. Think about that. Visualize that. Visualize the way he walks, the way he talks, the way he walks down the street, the way he shakes hands with people, the way he does everything, the way he operates, and operate that like that, okay? And not only will you begin to operate like that, and therefore your actions will align with the person who loses weight and becomes in good shape, you will actually start to be motivated to go and achieve that, okay? You will see that version of yourself and you'll think, right, that's what I'm working towards. That's my goal. A lot of you kind of don't have a clear vision of what you actually want to achieve, and that's why you struggle with motivation and you start to slack off a little bit and you start to kind of go through the motions. And that's what, that's only going to happen. It's like me with my sport. Let's say you're playing a sport, okay? And you want to get better at this sport. Let's say you're doing boxing. And you want to get better at boxing, but you have no clear vision. You have no kind of clear end goal of where you actually want to get to, okay? You'll just kind of be going through the motions, training, kind of, half-arsing it, not really putting the effort in, not putting the necessary effort required to achieve a goal, because there isn't a goal to achieve. You haven't set out a clear vision. You haven't set out an end goal for yourself. So you're going to be putting less effort in. You're going to actually make less results, fewer results, okay, due to that. Whereas if you set a clear goal for yourself, let's say, let's keep the example of boxing, martial arts, whatever it is. If you set a clear goal for yourself, like, I want to win 3 amateur fights, or I want to get to the professional level. You've set out a clear goal for yourself, okay? You've set out a genuine end goal, which then leads you through a pathway. When you've got that end goal, it gives you a motivation to go and do the necessary things to achieve that goal, because there is now an end goal. There is now a journey and a pathway laid out for you to achieve that end goal. So you're going to put in the necessary action required. You're going to put in more effort. You're going to make more results as a result of that. It's the same with losing weight. You need to vividly visualize exactly what you want yourself to look like, all right? Therefore, you've now got a clear end goal for the person that you want to become. And therefore, the pathway is very clearly laid out for you. So you now just have to go and do it, all right? That's going to help you with your motivation so much. And it shouldn't even, you shouldn't be relying on motivation. You should be disciplined. That is the basic thing that you should have as a man. You should wake up and do the things that you want to do regardless of how you feel. No, you should wake up and do the things that you have to do regardless of how you feel. Even if you don't want to, that's what I want to say. Why did I say fucking want what you want to do? No, you do the things you have to do even if you don't want to do them, because you have to do them. And I don't want to start sounding like Andrew Tate here and be like, start going on some mad like motivational speech, but that is genuinely how it is. A lot of the times with fitness, you're going to have days where you're going to be tired. You're going to have days where you can't be arsed. You're going to have days where you have like cravings for junk food, and you have to have the necessary mindset to say no to that, okay? It might be a bit painful to drag yourself out of bed to go for a run or to go to the gym, but you have to do it. You simply have to do it, because you've got that clear end goal. You've got that goal in your mind. You've got that vivid imagery of that person that you want to become, okay? And you have to do this every single day. Every single day, just close your eyes, relax, clear everything from your mind, and imagine that person that you want to become. And that will keep you going. That is what is going to keep you going through the hard times when you can't be bothered. You're going to think, I still have to do it for that future self, for that future me. I have to do those things. You have to go to the gym. You have to go for the run, all right? These things just need to be done in order for you to achieve that end goal, because you've clearly laid it out. You tell yourself every day, I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it. I believe in myself, I'm the fucking man. You keep speaking these positive words into your mind, so you're staying positive. Your actions will therefore align with that, okay? If you make yourself a promise, you're a man, you have to keep that promise, and you have to achieve that goal. There's no other option. All these things, they're all little things that are going to just build on top of each other, within your mindset, that are going to push you so much further than everyone else will. Because everyone else usually just gives up. They give into their cravings, they give into their desires of, can't be asked to get out of bed, I'm tired. Don't be that person. You owe it to yourself to achieve the goal that you promised yourself that you're going to achieve. So fucking do it. Don't be a pussy. Don't be like, no, I'm a bit tired, I'm not going to get out of bed because I'm comfy. Fuck that, bruv. You've got literally one chance on this earth, and you're going to spend it laying in bed being tired and not going and achieving the things that you want to achieve. If that's how you want to live your life, bro, then fair enough. But that's not how I want to live mine. That's not how I would encourage any of you to live your lives. Go and do the things that you want to do. It's as simple as that. Now, in terms of a very key actionable step in terms of losing weight, all right, I know this is probably what you've all been waiting for, but in terms of the actual exercise that you're doing to lose weight, the best thing, now distance is what burns calories. It's not intensity, okay? So if you go for a walk, okay, a long walk, and you burn a certain amount of calories, that's potentially going to be better than going for a run the same distance, because you're not going to be as fatigued, all right? You want to do things that are kind of not going to fatigue you as much, all right? Now I'm going to get all the fitness gurus coming at me now saying like, oh no, walking shit, you need to go for runs, you need to go and do sprinting and stuff like that. I'll be honest, bro, there's no like set way of doing this in terms of like fitness, in terms of losing weight, in terms of, it's the same with like building muscle, all right? There's no set way you have to do it, all right? Like all these fitness gurus coming online and they say like, oh yeah, you have to do it, you have to do these exercises and you have to do these amount of reps and weight and stuff. And like, bro, everything's kind of just preference. Everything, yeah, there are some facts involved. Yeah, there are some things that, there are exercises that are maybe better than others that target the muscles better. There are rep ranges that target different kind of, like 8 to 10 reps usually targets the more muscle growth, like 15 or more targets endurance, things like that, you know what I mean? I understand that. I understand there are facts involved, but there are, to an extent, no rules to it. You don't have to do everything the same way as someone else. You don't have to do something the same way that someone tells you to do it, all right? In terms of losing weight, the best way I've found, okay, and the best way that I've found, working with my clients and working with people and over the years, what I've learned is that doing that exercise to lose weight that is going to burn a lot of calories but make you a lot less fatigued is a lot better for you, okay? Because therefore, if you're less fatigued, you're not going to be as sore. You can go and do those things, the next day. Because I get a lot of people that kind of say to me, when I've been coaching them and they're saying, oh, today I'm a bit sore, I felt like yesterday was a bit too intense, so I don't really want to exercise today. And that's where the motivation comes in. It's the way that they feel. They're giving into the way that they feel. So yeah, you should do the things that you want to, you should do the things that you have to do regardless of how you feel. But if we can minimize those feelings as possible, that feeling of soreness, that feeling of fatigue, if we can minimize those as much as possible, then we don't have to kind of push through it as much. Do you know what I mean? Like, yeah, I want you boys to have the correct mindset. I want you boys to always do the things that you have to do regardless. But if we can minimize those things, if we can actually just give you a boost of, not feeling fatigued and not feeling sore, then why not do that? Okay, give yourself every edge possible. So do an exercise that is going to actually burn a lot of calories, however, not fatigue you so much, is going to be the best way. Is going to be the best route for you. Like, so just going on a walk. All right, you're probably not going to be as sore than if you were to go on a run the same distance. All right. Things like incline walks, Stairmasters, they all burn so many calories, but you're not going to be as fatigued, so you can therefore go the next day and do the same thing again, burning more calories, getting more results. Okay, so that's the very key actionable step. I'm not going to go, I don't want to go into too much detail about exactly the way to lose weight, because a lot of it genuinely is mindset. There are so many exercises you can do out there. There's so much advice on losing weight, how to get in shape and all that stuff. And it's, a lot of it is good, but I don't want to bombard you with so much information, because I think that's what gets people a little bit confused and a little bit overwhelmed, is that they've got so much information being thrown at them and they're like, oh, what actually works? What should I actually do? Is this the best way? Is that the best way? And I kind of just want to make it very simplified for you boys, so it's not, so it's not too much for you. So it's, you can kind of keep track of it, rather than me just like spitting out all the possible information I can in just one video, and then you're kind of thinking, what the fuck have I just listened to? All right. The main aspect of losing weight is genuinely your mindset. And that's why I've gone into the mindset side of it a lot more than the actual practical steps. The practical step is, that is the best way I believe to lose weight, is doing exercises that burns a lot of calories, but allows you to minimize fatigue. Okay, I believe that is the best way. But however, you're just still not going to be able to carry out those actions. Okay, you're not going to be able to carry out the process without the correct mindset. All right, the mindset is everything, boys. Fix your mind and you'll fix everything else. Okay, vividly visualize who you want to be. Who is that person that you want to be? How does he operate? And promise yourself that you're going to become that person. Promise that person of the future that you will be him. Wake up every morning and just spit positivity at yourself. You're the man. You can fucking do it. You can do anything. Just spit as much, just big yourself up. Be an arrogant bastard if you have to be, all right? Just big yourself up. Do everything you can to give yourself the edge. To spit as much positivity at you, okay? And if you do have a day where you've fucked up and you've gave into some junk food, or you've missed a workout because you couldn't be arsed and you've given into your mindset, then fine, all right? You have to accept that. That is a fact. There's no point dwelling on that. There's no point moaning about that. You get back up and you say, right, we're gonna fucking crush tomorrow. We're gonna do double tomorrow. We're gonna do everything that we should have done today tomorrow. We're gonna eat clean. Stay positive. Like, it's not over. We keep going. Just keep spitting positivity at yourself, because the number one thing that will break you down is negativity. If you're spitting negativity at yourself, if you're feeding into negative beliefs and negative concepts and negative thoughts, you're simply not going to get where you want to be, because your motivation will just die. And if you've not got the motivation, you ain't got the discipline especially, then forget it, bro. You have to absolutely master your mind. You have to control your mind. That is the biggest thing in terms of fitness. And that is the biggest thing that holds people back. It's not the exercises they're doing. It's not the amount of exercise they're doing. You know, it's none of that. It's genuinely their mindset. People quit. People can't be arsed. That's how you fail. Because you don't fail if you don't quit. All right, boys? Now, if you want to take this to the absolute next level, if you're absolutely serious, okay, about losing weight for this summer, you want to be looking good on your holidays. You're sick and tired of taking your shirt off and just looking like shit, and, you know, not wanting to take your shirt off on the beach when you're on holiday, all right? DM me the word level up, okay? I'll leave a link to my Instagram in the link of this video, okay? The description of this video. I'll leave a link there. If you go there, DM me level up, all right, to state your interest in one-to-one coaching with myself. I'll get back to you as soon as possible, okay? And we can take it to the next level. I will give you exact personalized protocol, an exact training plan, exactly the things that you need to do. I'll walk you through the entire process. We will literally hold your hand through the entire process of losing weight and becoming the person that you want to be for this summer, all right? You'll get access to all the resources that are available, okay? Even ones that cost money, you'll get them for free, okay? That's kind of the bonus to being a premium one-to-one coach client, all right? We will literally walk you through the entire process. Me and my team will do there's other people behind this, okay? There's not just me. There are other people that have knowledge that can help you, okay, in different areas, all right? We will make sure that you achieve these goals. We've had many, many, many people in the past that have done this, and they've come to me with this exact goal. We've set it out for them. We've given them an exact process. We've guided them through everything. Constant, calls, making sure, keeping track of progress, doing this, doing that. They made a mistake here, so now this is what you have to do. This is how you correct this. You get everything. You get 24/7 support from me, so you can contact me whenever. You can ask me a question whenever. And yeah, boys, you need to be absolutely serious about it. I don't want people coming on, who are kind of just like, who want to, they want to achieve a goal, but they kind of don't want to put the work in maybe. No, I want you to be absolutely serious about achieving this goal if you're going to DM me, okay? Because we make sure we put all the effort into you, so you to make sure you're putting in all the effort as well. All right, boys? I hope that was helpful, and I'll see you in a bit.